This is a magical week. Let's get into the astrology and tarot cards, Taurus. This is for Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. We're going to start with the astrology so that you understand the baseline of everything and how it's impacting you. And then we're going to get into the cards. Taurus, let spirit be your guide is in reverse. So there's definitely things inside of you that are creating a great deal of turmoil and spirit isn't getting through. The astrology supports this, and I'll explain how. Chiron is opposite to Venus all this week. Now, Chiron is about pain and suffering and learning from it and becoming better, a better version of who you are because of what you have experienced, the pain that you have gone through. Of course, in opposition, it also does mean increased potential for injury that can humiliate and humble you. So it's never recommended for you to take any major risks now, especially to the head and neck area, or anything, too gregarious could lead to injury right now. So that's definitely something that I want you to know from the get-go. We have a full moon this week where the moon is conjunct to Chiron. While it is in direct opposition, while it is in direct opposition to the beautiful conjunction between Venus and the Sun. So the way I see it is, this is a marvelous time for you to see how you have cut yourself off at the knees by cutting yourself off from God. I know that's a hard hitter up front. We're going to start very esoteric and we're going to get more specific as we go. But this card is already indicating, let spirit be your guide. There was some disconnect, and that could insinuate short-sightedness, ways in which you were short-sighted, or you felt completely and totally cut off from or let down by spirit. Now remember, because this is a full moon, this is a catharsis, so it's a release and a let go. But it is a full moon in Aries. Venus is securely in Libra, and the Sun is with her, conjunct. So that is going to instill you with a beautiful energy of romanticism and a focus on your partnerships. So in some ways, this week, you're going to have to come to terms with the way you feel like you were duped, or you feel the wool was pulled over your eyes, either by yourself or somebody else, when it comes to your partnerships. Okay? This could also insinuate injury to a partner, or injury to yourself and being let down or feeling let down by those you thought you could rely on and depend on. I will say that this is a former injury simply because the beautiful energy of this gorgeous trine. Venus is trine to Mars, which is exceptional. With Venus in Libra, trine to Mars, exceptional for romantic pleasures as well as harmony when it comes to your partnership. It's also in a beautiful trine to Saturn, which means having a solid understanding, having almost a responsible mentality of romance so that it doesn't overcome you, overwhelm you, but you can figure out how to make things work. And Saturn is simultaneously trying to Mars as well, so that means you can work out anything. It's just this emotional release that has to happen around that full moon. And that full moon is in Aries, and Aries is a really hard place for the moon to be. It is an exceptionally pop-offish and defensive energy, so this is where we have been defensive. We have probably caused our own injury. Or dealing with the real core and deep pain that has been suffered because of a partner or by a partner. And really being in the perfect harmony right now to be able to confront something that powerful. But let Spirit be your guide is almost like you feel like you're walking in the dark. You know, it's almost like, you know, those times in your life when you think, is God with me? Now you get to answer that question yourself. I say yes all the time, but absolutely there are times in our life when we feel completely and totally let down or disconnected, or like you're just not getting the answers that you need. We have bring a gentle touch and give with gratitude and grace. And then we have sometimes life stings, which is in reverse. Give me a second. Bring a gentle touch is about love. It's about kindness and it's about compassion. Give with gratitude and grace is about being compassionate and caring and loving and giving your whole self to somebody. And sometimes life stings is in reverse. But so is let Spirit be your guide. And in a way now I'm seeing this as an arrow that's directed directly to my heart. Okay. You are a compassionate person. You are love. And there is no reason to be ashamed for being loving. Even when somebody else has not shown you love in return. It is your strength this week, Taurus, that you will be able to look that in the eye and say, I love you, but I leave you. I leave you in love. I leave you in heartfelt compassion, because I'm going to be compassionate and loving to myself as well. This is the week when you stand up and realize, I don't deserve this pain. And I'm not going to cause it to myself either. You know, that kind of deep suffering that we do to ourselves when we feel ashamed, or when we start talking to ourselves like, well, you could have done this differently. Why haven't you done this differently? Why did you let this happen? There's a wisdom to you this week that is enabling you to not hurt yourself any more than you've already been damaged. And so there's no shame in your game. There is no shame at all. There's no feeling of, you know what? What could I have done? Instead, there's just a realization of, I really did everything that I could do. And sometimes it just doesn't work. This could be an unexpected connection. And it could happen at just the right time that enables you to realize there's something on the other side of anything that's ending. Please allow yourself to take this in the context of your life, because it's not all about romantic relationships. You know, you don't have to ask my permission. Michelle, is this, you know, could this be about my job and the way that my boss treated me? Yes. Could this be about my relationship with my mother that's been strained and I tried so hard? Yes. It's about what gets to your heart. Everything. I do make an extended reading, and here's my brief little pitch for it. Then I will dig down into how does this energy impact specifically career, money, love, romance, sex. All of those specifics are touched. And that's why the extendeds are so valuable, and I hope you can join me for them. Those links are down below. But you are absolutely able right now with this reading, this general reading, take it to where it pertains to your life. It is a very powerful week for you because even though you're dealing with a lot of pressure and something, you know what, let me go back. I think you're dealing with a lot of release of pressure because the real suffering up until now has been, can I admit this to myself? Is this really where we are? Is this really? And now the really doesn't seem so scary. The really seems, yeah, this is the natural flow of things, but look, because there's steps forward. There's other places that I can go. You have options. A lot of them. Really beautiful ones. I have to say, this trine is so exceptional, especially for harmonizing and balancing, and that is definitely very romantic energy. Love and support from your partner or in potential new partnerships that could be coming into you. And in that case, little preview to the extended, in that case, Taurus, you would all of a sudden realize that's why the other partnership didn't work out. As hard as I was trying, and I could have been trying for years, the reason why it kept making me more and more miserable because it's not where I was supposed to be. And we're hard-headed, right? We're stubborn. It is a stereotype of Taurus energy, but it's a stereotype based on a reality. Let's face it. You know, you guys are hard-willed and basically hold up the tradition and maintenance of the entire zodiac. So it is who you are, and who you are is beautiful and perfect. And it's a yin-yang. It's a challenge sometimes. And these are those challenges where I won't give up. This is the way things are going to go. But you could be wrong. And I think that now is that delightful time when you realize, oh, guess what? It wasn't God that wasn't on my side. It was me. I wasn't letting those messages through. Because clearly what he was trying to tell me, he, she, whatever, however you see God is welcome here. Clearly God was trying to tell me, you're making yourself suffer. Because of your compassion and because of your gentleness, you are hurting. You know, compassion and gentleness should not be to numb pain and suffering when you could just stop what's causing it. Right? But the only way that you'll be able to make it out, and I think that this is why there's such a portal opening up for you this week, is if you realize that you could say, you actually have the option to say goodbye with love. You actually have the option to say, I've done all that I can do with love. You actually have the option to say, if my best wasn't good enough, I'm a human and I'm still learning. And I love me enough to believe in me, to realize maybe I've got to move on to learn what I need to do better. Because staying here is not it. Leave your comments below. How is this impacting your life? I will read those comments. Believe me. Absolutely. Another brief interruption. This would be a wonderful time for you to show your love and appreciation for this channel by liking this video, if you do like this video, and subscribing if you are not yet subscribed, so that you will know when I upload all your favorite content. Taurus content comes out like clockwork, 8 o'clock every single, 8 a.m. Pacific time, every single Thursday. So I hope you guys can be here for it. Ring that notification bell. And if you want to join me, I do daily tarot card reading live chats over on my second YouTube channel, Astrology Motivation. And I will attach the link above. I'll be sure to do it so that you guys can hopefully connect with me over there as well. Be peace. Be generous of spirit. It's so funny, Taurus. The irony that comes from like I would say the power of letting go. Because it seems that the power of letting go has moved somebody's heart. And that this assumed worst case scenario of I'm a failure, I've lost, I've done everything wrong, I've created this mess, and now I have to be brave enough to fucking get out of it and stop making the mess and help to start repairing, but walk away. I gotta move on. I gotta let this go. Interestingly enough, what the cards are saying is that the decision to let go has moved their heart. Now, let me say this. I got a backlash a couple of weeks ago that I am still bitter about. I will admit that. Not from you guys, of course. Thank you so much for your constant support of the channel. But I do say to watch the whole video because the message doesn't come out all at once. And it's a building. And people who stop at 8 minutes, or they stop at 10 minutes, oh, I'm not interested, or this doesn't resonate, or she's going too slow, or it's like you're not journeying through, and I can't offer you all my wisdom right up front. This is a building process. And that I'm telling you this, not just in defense of me, you know, a little arrogance slipped in. No, because that's kind of what you have to do this week. You are not going to be able to jolt somebody's heart. You will not do it until you have come to that full catharsis of allowing the suffering to permeate to the point where you finally make the decision that you should have made months ago, years ago. And it's your moving on that helps somebody else realize just how very important all this was to you, and is the only thing that will be able to change their heart. Are you dealing with a Leo? Please don't think that this reading isn't for you just because I don't call out specific signs. But this would be at the very least a very prideful person. This would be at the very least somebody who is insufferably confident and doesn't take a lot of time often to look at who they are because they just assume their own superiority. And so walking in that direction, walking away and letting them see your courage and your conviction is sort of the language that really makes them understand. The courage of peace, the courage of moving forward, the courage of deciding that, guess what? I have the right to change my life, and I will believe in the moment that is in front of me. This could also be, these two, a life-changing relationship. Now, it could be that you are ending. You are now walking away from this life-changing relationship because it has come to this conclusion. Or this, after you've walked away from this difficult situation, you have found the strength and you found the courage, and that trine is really going to support you being able to do that this week. You have found the strength, you found the courage. Look what's on the other side is this is the life-changing relationship, or the relationship that happens because you have changed your life. But one does not come before the other, Taurus. I cannot say that enough. And if you don't trust me, then I don't know what to say. Actually, I do know what to say, but I probably shouldn't say it on here. What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. You can't live your life, I understand, by tarot card readings. This is supposed to be just for advice. I want you to use your own intuition. But I think that what I'm tapping into is your intuition has been telling you this for a while. But you're arguing because there's an ego here. There's an ego that says, no, I don't have to go through any of that. That's too ugly. I'll make it right just with, you know, my charisma or, you know, my conviction. And no, you won't. No, you won't. You have to, it's courage. It's not charisma, it's courage. This peace and this tranquility comes by facing what makes you sad, by really owning that there isn't any more that I can do, right? That's really what changes you. And there's this impactful, beautiful, oh my God, all of a sudden, how did you get there? How did this beautiful opportunity get there? This is very attractive, sensual energy, very maternal energy. I could be describing a person or a moment. But there it is. It's very transcendental, I should say, because it's this change in you that made you look at something and see the beauty in it. Or it's the change in you that finally makes somebody realize you. It's so easy for people to take advantage of us, isn't it, Taurus? When we are consistent and they don't get it and they don't realize just how exceptional that makes their life, how exceptional that makes their, right? Okay. Trust the great mystery, and this and that are true. Knowing that you don't know it all, and you can go with God. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, God. In fact, if you want my suggestion for a mantra for this week, that would be it. God, take the wheel, because I don't know which way to go. And this is all very confusing to me. But this is also diving into or awakening to a different perspective. Let's see where this energy takes us. I'll see you guys in the extended reading. The links are below.